live on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe notification button. Let's get shit rocking. Kid Austin, Shakur Stevenson, locked in. Oscar De La Hoya, Ryan Garcia not on the same page. We're gonna talk about all of that. Eddie Hearn speaks on boots. Let's all get into what's been transpiring as of recent.
I got so much fucking design on right now.
Yo, what it is, man. It's your boy, and we are out here. Man, shouts to everybody that's tuning in right now. I'm kind of going on this solo mission. As I was saying, there's a lot of things going on in boxing today. We're going to talk about anybody that's tuning in. Y'all can write in the chat. I will definitely respond to y'all. But it's been really interesting. First and foremost, finally, the Kid Austin versus Shakur Stevenson will be going down February 22nd on Riyadh season. It was confirmed on Kid Austin's page, also confirmed on multiple sources have said that the fight is going down. Again, this is going to be a big challenge for Kid Austin and his team. And it's kind of a double-edged sword in regards to Shakur. Are people going to give him credit for defeating Kid Austin or whatever? I mean, people are going to say he's green. Oscar came out and said he didn't want him to take the fight. I understood why Oscar wouldn't want to do the fight right now. The kid might not be ready at this point. And, it's a tough situation in there with Oscar and the promoters, especially because Oscar's not fitting the bill. Turkey Al-Asik is fitting the bill. And, when you get offered that amount of money, especially when you're coming up in boxing like that, it is very difficult to turn that type of money down. So, I can't be mad at Kid Austin for taking that fight, to be perfectly honest with you. But having said that, I'm not gonna cap, man. I don't think he's gonna win that fight. Like, this is just not one of those fights that, to me, he is going to win. And it's simply not because I don't think that he's not this, he's not that. I like the kid. I think he actually possesses a style that can actually pose problems for Shakur Stevenson. My biggest gripe with the situation is I think he's just green. I don't think he has it all there. And I think in regards to fighting somebody with the skill level of Shakur Stevenson, you gotta be on your A game. You gotta be, there mentally. IQ gotta beat it. And I don't think he has enough rounds and enough ring experience, especially against somebody like Shakur, to really pose a problem. Now, his father seems pretty much open to the fact that there's a possibility that he won't win the fight, right? And even so, he definitely believes that his son, whether win, lose, or draw, will be able to continue his career and move forward. And he's looking at it like this. Look, his inexperience is a check. I mean, the most things that what people have been saying is about the check. When the father spoke, when the son spoke, they were asked, the offer was crazy. Turkey Al-Asik is definitely paying above scale. And, I'm not gonna lie. Somebody offered me X amount of dollars. I don't know what their financial status is or whatnot, especially on such a big card like that. You got to think about it. But again, how is it going to affect Kid Austin? He didn't look too great in his last fight. His father was kind of getting at him. But finally, we do have a confirmation. He definitely got a confirmation, which is a good thing because this card was supposed to be something major. They were trying to do Bivol, Beterbiev, I think, on this card. Boots Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz. That didn't happen. This is supposed to be a mega card on February 22nd, and Turkey Al-Asik is continuing to deliver big cards. And if you're a boxing fan, you're getting all these fights on one card. You know how difficult it is to sit there and watch some of these cards where there's guys you really don't know who they are, and you're sitting through 4 hours. Sometimes there's no action. There's not a lot going on. He's given us a lot of these fights that possibly won't even take place the entire year, right? Think about it. There's about 4 or 5 main events that may not even transpire throughout the whole year, and he's given to you on one card. So you have to take your hat off to Turki Al-Asik. But there is a lot of politics that are starting to stop some of these fights. Promoters not agreeing with these fighters taking the fight. Oscar did try to talk to Schofield and his father out of the fight. He did. They feel like, and they went as far as to call the kid a prospect. That Shakur's fighting a prospect, and it's unfortunate, because I see both sides of the coin. You know what I mean? Yes, this is a competitive sport, but at the same time, as a promoter, you want to get the best out of your fighter in order to be able to capitalize, for both of you guys to capitalize. And sometimes you're just not ready. You know what I mean? And this is listen, I'm not sitting here telling you Shakur is the super duper vet in this situation, because he's not. He's not the super duper vet. But he's clearly the more skilled fighter. A lot of people do have him in the top pound for pound list, or at least in the top 15 of that. And we all look at Shakur as someone that can challenge Gervonta Davis at 135. I don't believe many people believe that about Kid Austin at this point. So, to me, it's a good fight, just because Kid Austin is a good prospect, but is he ready for the lights, glamour, and for somebody as skilled as Shakur? On the flip side of that, Kid Austin does possess a lot of problems. He's a strong kid that's really in your face, is going to continue to come after you the entire fight. He believes that Shakur doesn't possess the power to actually hurt him. So this is going to be one of those fights where we're going to see is Kid Austin going to be able to impose his will, or is Shakur going to do what he does, move around and just dominate it from the outside and give us a 12-0 card, pretty much? You know what I mean? I mean, this is what we're going to expect at this point. Who's going to be the one that's going to set the tone? And I think the majority of people are going to say Shakur Stevenson. Hopefully, if it is Shakur Stevenson, this leads to a mega fight, possibly him trying to unify at 135 pounds, and maybe even getting Gervonta Davis to actually fight him. And again, I'm not even mad at Gervonta not fighting Shakur at this point, because Shakur's stock is not up. I mean, his last couple performances, a lot of people have been killing him. So Shakur's not walking into this fight as the hero, as most people would say. He has a lot to prove in this fight as well. And I think that's going to be very telling leading up to the fight. Is he going to sit there and try to bang it out? Is he going to try to put him away? Is he going to be more entertaining? These are questions that a lot of people have about Shakur Stevenson. Okay, so as many questions as people have about Kid Austin and how green he is, what we do know is this: Kid Austin's going to go in there and he's going to try to take Shakur's head off. And Shakur needs a performance to push Gervonta Davis to fight him. I mean, let's be real. Gervonta does not have to fight Shakur at this point and continue to make money. He is starting to feel pressure in regards to people not being happy with the choice of fights that he's doing with guys like Lamont Roach. They do want to see him beat somebody that a lot of people regard as one of the best. But there is doubt in a lot of people's minds as to Shakur's desire. Shakur's willing to mix it up. Shakur being boring. And a lot of that is well-deserved. I mean, when he fought, I think, Jamal Herring, I thought he was very good. He was very entertaining. But a couple fights after that, he got killed. People felt like he felt the power and, did not want to engage. A lot of people critiqued him for those things. So to me, sorry about that. I left the thing on too long. To me, I'm expecting Shakur to really try to make a statement in this fight. And he's been talking heavy. He's really been talking extremely heavy in this fight. So I'm expecting my guy to really, really rev up in this fight. Hopefully, man. Let's do it to the point where you actually end up getting people kicking the door down for a possible mega match. You know what I mean? Let's stay on the Riyadh card, right? Check this out. There's been a lot of controversy. There was another fight that was supposed to go down that people wanted to see: Virgil Ortiz versus Boots Ennis. Boots put out a statement yesterday. Pretty much I showed it on yesterday's show where he said people were negotiating behind his back. He did not okay that. And if it didn't come from him, then it didn't happen. Wasn't much clarification, but Eddie Hearn actually had this to say about the situation.
Reports that apparently at the last minute there's a change in when he needs to be at 147 instead of 154. Can you clarify?
Never a last minute change for it to be at 147. We received an offer about 3 days ago for the fight at 147. Not from us, not us trying to get the fight at 147. That is how it was written in the offer to us. We took it back to Giron. Obviously, that's fine with us. We went back to them and say, yes, we'll accept, but are you sure this is at 47? They went away, they came back and they said, no, we've spoken to Golden Boy, sorry, it would be at 154, you've got to vacate your title. Okay, well, this is a big decision, we're going to have to go back. This was about 24, 48 hours ago. On Thanksgiving, we were asked to make a decision, and the answer was, I just don't know. I'm not ready to make a decision if I'm going to vacate my belt. And that's it. And that's all it is. So, if we've got time to make a decision, maybe he does it. But if it's to make a decision tonight or tomorrow, I'm not sure he will. If he moves to 54, he'll 100% fight Virgil Ortiz. If he doesn't, he'll unify at 147. And that's over to him.
Last one already. Boots has actually tweeted that he didn't know anything about in terms of negotiations going on.
There's been no negotiations. All we did was receive an offer about 3 days ago. So all this stuff from, we've been in we haven't. We received an offer to do the fight at 47. We accepted, we went back, we checked. We were then told it was 54. And we said, okay, well, we've got to talk as a team to decide if we're going to go to 54. But what you're not going to see is him go to 54 and not fight Virgil Ortiz. I promise you that.
Good night of a railway last night?
Unbelievable. Bit difficult on the old 5K this morning.
Cheers, Ed.
Cheers, mate.
Reports that apparently have
So pretty much, Eddie Hearn responds to that, which was dope that he actually did that. Shout out to, I don't know where I ripped that from. It was on Twitter. But so apparently there was never negotiations. There was an offer sent over to the Boots camp for a fight made at 147 pounds. Now, we all know Virgil Ortiz fights at 154 pounds. And, it was confusing for their camp to hear, well, he's going to come back down to 147. Everybody knows Virgil Ortiz can't make 147 no more. So they were willing to take the fight apparently at 147, right? They came back, said, you sure it's at 147? Like he said, they said, no, it'll be at 154, and you have a day or so to come up with an answer. Now, Boots came out and already said he doesn't know if he hasn't made the decision yet if he's going to go up to 147 or 154. So apparently there was never an offer. There was a typo or a mistake in the offer that was made, and they pretty much had to make a decision immediately. Now, I say this. I like Boots a lot. I think Boots is a star. I think he possesses everything that can make him a great champion. Do I believe that happened? In business, a lot of times people put out an offer that's a good offer just so you jump on it and don't give you enough time to really think and see the money and make you react. So if that's the case, I definitely give him props. There was no way Virgil Ortiz was ever going to go down to 147 to take that fight, okay? Now, like I said in yesterday's episode, Boots has to make a huge decision, and I mean soon. Boots has to make a decision on if he's going to go up to 154 or if he's going to take some profile-building fights where he might fight a Blair Flair or 147 or Ryan Garcia, which is a big fight, or even just unify at 147 pounds, then go to 154. These are all decisions that he has to make. Does he feel like he's ready to go to 154? He did take punches in his last fight, and a lot of people were questioning his defensive prowess. So it is a big decision to make, and Virgil Ortiz is not your typical fighter. He's a very good fighter, very talented fighter. I do believe that Boots is the better fighter, but at the same time, they're weight classes for a reason. So, to me, it's a little disappointing if this were to be true that they gave him a day, I think he said, in order to take that fight. That to me was kind of trash. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and lie, that was kind of whack. But I guess that's what happened. So, how do I feel about it? I wish this fight would go down. I really want to see this fight. I want to see Boots where he belongs, and I think he's an elite fighter. I really do believe he's an elite fighter. Timothy Edwards, what's up? How you feel about the fight? I got Ortiz if it gets booked. If it gets booked at 154 pounds, which it will, I think Boots is just that good, man. I really do. I don't believe Boots can sit there and just take all those punches all day, to be honest with you. But I really do like Boots. I think Boots is the better fighter, Tim. So to me, I favor him. I truly favor Boots in the fight. I just think Boots is the better fighter. That's just how I feel in regards to that fight. Now, again, you know, is it going to happen? I don't know. I really don't know. But it's not going to happen on February 22nd, barring they get back to the table sometime this week and you know, have a short camp or something like that. But I just don't see Boots rushing to make a bad decision, because if Boots takes a bad loss, we don't know how people are going to respond to that. So to me, I do want to see the fight. I think it's a really good fight, but I think Boots is going to do what's best for Boots, as he should. And it's very disappointing, but it was cool to hear Eddie Hearn say that. If you guys want, I'll play again what Eddie Hearn said. You guys can actually hear it for yourselves one more time.
Reports that apparently at the last minute there was a change in when he needed to be at 147 instead of 154. Can you clarify?
Never a last minute change for it to be at 147. We received an offer about 3 days ago for the fight at 147. Not from us, not us trying to get the fight at 147. That is how it was written in the offer to us. We took it back to Giron. Obviously, that's fine with us. We went back to them and say, yes, we'll accept, but are you sure this is at 47? They went away, they came back and they said, no, we've spoke to Golden Boy, sorry, it would be at 154, you've got to vacate your title. Okay, well, this is a big decision, we're going to have to go back. This was about 24, 48 hours ago. On Thanksgiving, we were asked to make a decision, and the answer was, I just don't know. I'm not ready to make a decision if I'm going to vacate my belt. And that's it. And that's all it is. So if we've got time to make a decision, maybe he does it. But if it's to make a decision tonight or tomorrow, I'm not sure he will. If he moves to 54, he'll 100% fight Virgil Ortiz. If he doesn't, he'll unify at 147. And that's over to him.
Last one anymore.
Yeah, I mean, again, man, I mean, from the words of Eddie Hearn and Boots, there was never negotiations. Let's take it to it. There was an offer made. Nothing was sent back. Unfortunate, but, you know, what are we going to do? We got to deal with that right now, which sucks because, I mean, I really wanted to see that fight, man. That is one of those fights that I really, really want to see, man. I'm not going to lie. It's very disappointing, but it is what it is in that regard. You know, a lot of people want to know what he's going to do, man. A lot of people definitely want to know. Moving forward, let me check out. What do you guys think? Put it in the comments. Let me know. Appreciate everybody tuning in right now. You know, we're going to keep it moving. Keep the chat going. Keep sending me a message. I will respond. But yeah. In other news, my man Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy Promotions, comes out and says, in regards to the Ryan Garcia fight, Golden Boy Promotions has, let me see what he says. He says, has exclusive rights to Ryan Garcia's fights. The organizers of this event have acknowledged as such and have agreed in writing that our sign-off is needed for this event to occur. As no such sign-off has been given as of today, there is no event with Ryan Garcia. Listen, let's keep it tall right now. I mean, they're absolutely right. I mean, you can't just listen. They own the rights to anything Ryan Garcia. Period. They own the rights. It's not going to be a situation where Ryan can just go get money somewhere or whatnot. They probably had a conversation. Oscar was like, all right, cool. But at the end of the day, what is my return? Oscar is, again, someone who is instrumental in his career. Very instrumental in Ryan Garcia's career. He helped him get to where he's at. And this is actually the event right here that they're talking about. is the crazy thing about that event. Nowhere on that flyer did I see Golden Boy, which I think brings a big issue. First and foremost, Ryan Garcia is contracted to those individuals. Not only that, Oscar De La Hoya in past has actually threatened Ryan Garcia with lawsuits. And this is a fact. They were going back and forth for a while with I forgot, with a bunch of BS over 2 years ago. They eventually squashed it. But this is another one of those things that, you can't be mad at Oscar De La Hoya at that point for stepping in and saying, hey, no, bro, listen, we got your rights, bro. Like, you have to abide by this contract. You can't just go as a prize fighter and just go anywhere. Now, it does kind of a couple things arise from that situation. Why is Ryan taking this fight? To be honest with you, I mean, what is the benefit to this fight outside of money? And it's clearly a money move. Is Ryan dealing with a situation? Is he dealing with maybe from all the lawyer fees, the stuff that he's been going through? I don't know how he spends his money. Is that the case? I mean, what are you actually doing at this point? So to me, it's definitely a question. Why is Ryan taking this? It's clearly a money move. But I can't sit there and tell you that I'm against it. I'm against Oscar De La Hoya in this situation because he is a golden boy fighter, and you have to respect business in this situation. Oscar has helped this kid make a lot of money. And the fact that Golden Boy wasn't even on the intro, they had a press conference, and Golden Boy wasn't even mentioned, is absolutely absurd. Like, what kind of a business, a promotional company, puts together something like this and doesn't realize how influential, or the fact that Oscar De La Hoya is actually behind Ryan Garcia? Maybe because they would say it's not a sanctioned fight or it's an exhibition. Regardless, he's signed to them. I just don't understand why Ryan would go and do something like that. It just didn't make any sense to me. And again, I really do like Ryan Garcia. I think Ryan is a super talented fighter, but a lot of the things that he does just don't make any sense. And this is definitely one of them where I have to side with Oscar. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. And that's just being perfectly honest at this point. I see people hit me on the chat. Let me just check the chat real quick. Some reason my freaking chat is not working that well, but whatever. We'll keep going from there. But yes, it is definitely, in my opinion, Oscar is 1,000,000% right in the situation. And to be honest with you, I don't care to see. I don't think anybody cares to see that fight in Japan. To be honest with you, we want to see if he's going to come back and fight some of the bigger individuals. And these questions were actually asked in his recent interview. Right here, let me pull this up for you.
Come April, when you make your comeback, what's the first thing you want to do? Who's the first person you'd like to fight?
You got Rayo at 140 for a world title. Obviously, you got Teofimo Lopez. Working my way to the Gervonta rematch too. All those options seem good to me. Something that intrigued me. Obviously, I don't fight anymore to fight, those in-between fights. But if I have to, if my team feels like that's the way to go, I also do that too. It's really just depending on how I feel with these exhibitions.
Come April, when you make your comeback, what's the first?
So, I mean, he at that press conference, he ends up giving us his hit list. And one name to me that was interesting that he did not mention was Devin Haney. And I think that's the most intriguing matchup that I think most people want to see. At least I want to see that match, right? We all know the controversy that transpired last April 20th with the doping allegations, him turning guilty and then getting suspended for the year. This is why he's doing the exhibition fight. But I found it really odd that he did not mention Devin Haney. And that's one of those fights that I truly do want to see, is the Devin Haney fight. I mean, amid all of the controversy, all the outside stuff, it made the fight interesting, especially what transpired that night. And there's still like a little cloud over everybody's head. If he wasn't dirty, or if he didn't test dirty, would he have won the fight? And I think that's something that the people definitely want to see. I definitely want to see that fight. So I was really surprised he did not mention the Devin Haney fight. But I am excited to hear him say Rayo, Teofimo Lopez. I don't know about the Gervonta Davis rematch. Gervonta Davis came out and said that he would do the fight, and it is going to happen clearly he made, what was it, 1.2 million buys. I think he made close to like 40 million for that fight. So of course Gervonta would want to do that fight. Now, again, what weight is Ryan going to fight at? He's not going to make 140, right? So we're probably looking at a catch weight. And again, Ryan doesn't care about belts. He just cares about getting the money for the fight. So I do find it interesting. He did say he did want to fight Ryo for the belt at 140. Will he go down to that weight? I don't know. I mean, he didn't do it for Devin. I don't believe he'll do it for Ryo. But those are some names that I'd like to see. Out of all the names that he did name, Teofimo to me is the most interesting because I like Teofimo. I think, to me, Teofimo is the best fighter at 140 pounds. I think he has the athleticism, he has the talent, he has all of the skill sets. Just needs some help at the training aspect of it. And now he's running around in Canelo's camp with Reynoso. So I think a lot of questions can be answered for him, and I think he can elevate and take a lot of that talent and really push himself to become a legit superstar in boxing. So that's one of those fights that I really would love to see. Ryan Garcia versus Teofimo Lopez. I think it's a great fight to be made, especially for the people. And I mean, we're tired of seeing the BS fights. And again, if you really think about it, man, you can't knock Ryan. Ryan really, he's really with the smoke. He really wants to fight the best fights, the biggest fights. He done called out Bud, the Boots. Ryan has a lot of options. And again, he is one of the cash cows in boxing, especially at that light division. It's Gervonta at 135, and then it's him. There's nobody else that can generate that type of buzz. Ryan does have a very big fan base. He can do a lot of things, and he knows it. And he has a lot of power. And that's why Golden Boy stepped in and was like, whoa. Nah, y'all not just going to take our fighter and just do whatever you want at this point and benefit off of all the things that we did. So I do find it interesting in regards to what Ryan's going to do next. Now, is this fight going to happen in Japan? I mean, it's the end of December. We're in December, I think, tomorrow. So they're going to have to pay Oscar a lot of money for him to even sanction that. And another thing is, you don't want Ryan to get hurt because now you open the door for a possible lawsuit if Ryan does get hurt in that fight. I don't know how he would get hurt, whatever. I don't know the rules to this fight. That could possibly get him sued, that camp. Everybody, because I believe Oscar's a very smart dude, and I don't think Oscar would allow him to risk himself for somebody else and him not get paid. Can you imagine if Ryan Garcia were to suffer an injury in that fight, and let's say can't box anymore? What happens to Golden Boy at that point? Golden Boy is not going to be happy with that. You didn't get hurt with us. You didn't make us money. You took a chance with somebody else, and now you hurt yourself and you can't do it. So I don't know if this fight's going to be actually going down. I don't believe Oscar is going to let it go down unless he's getting paid and can control how this fight's going to go. He does not want to put his fighter at risk. He has a lot of big fights that he could possibly make with Golden Boy Promotions and Ryan Garcia. You heard it before. Tank said he'd do the fight again. Teofimo Lopez is a big fight. He's named a lot of other names. There's a lot of money to be made, and I just don't feel like Oscar's going to allow anybody to benefit or even put his fighter at risk. So to me, and I'm just being frank in this situation, I don't think this fight happens in Japan. Now, I could be 1,000% wrong. I just don't feel like I am. I don't believe that this fight is going to actually go down. Like, that's, I don't know. I have no clue, but I appreciate talking to y'all tonight, man. I hope y'all tuned in. This is going to be kind of a new format. I'm testing a lot of different things. I definitely appreciate y'all tuning in. For some reason, the chat is not coming through. You know what I mean? But I appreciate everybody that is tuning in. But let me play that trailer for you guys again. This is it right here. But if you notice, I'm going to play it one more time. I don't see no Golden Boy throughout the entire thing. Monday, December 30th. It's 30 days away. So Oscar's putting out statements. Somebody got to get paid. Somebody got to pay Oscar. I don't think he's gonna go down. That's just how I feel. On that note, I'm gonna let y'all rock, but I will be back on tomorrow. Let me know what time you guys want me to go on. I could go on at night, and I also will be making a weekly show at least twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays mornings. Please tune in at 10 a.m. to 12. That's gonna be the hours, and we're gonna rock out, man. Definitely appreciate y'all tuning in. This is the North to the World podcast, and thank you for tuning in.
I got so much fucking design on right now.
Oh yeah, make sure y'all like, subscribe, and hit the notification buttons, y'all. We out.